Well, I missed the sign. There's actually two signs. I don't know how I could have missed them, but I think it's because I came from that direction and that big tree right there was hiding the signs. But Hidden Beach Resort and Hidden Beach itself is down a dirt road over here. And I'll attempt to show you a little bit of how you get down there. And I'd never heard of it until a friend showed it to me. And he lives in Toledo. And he hadn't heard of it until his girlfriend, who was a local there, told him about it. And you can see that not many tour buses would stop along this road, but it's very charming. And looking back over this way, you can see the beauty of the island. And here we are, I think. Attempt to go up this hill with one hand on the wheel. Yeah, you made it. Maybe the reason they call it Hidden Beach is because there's nobody here. I arrived and there's exactly one other vehicle in the parking lot with maybe 5 people. Beware of falling coconut. 800 million more signs like that. Philippines would be a safe place. A windy day at the beach like this reminds me of when I was a kid growing up in Massachusetts. And I lived out in western Mass, so there weren't any beaches. But every summer we got down to the Cape and we used to camp out on the Cape. I believe the place was called Hammonasset State Park, and we put our camper in there, and my stepfather had a truck he pulled it with, and as kids we would go from the campsite just walking. You can get to the beach, and it was always windy on Cape Cod, but totally different beach of course than this tropic scene here. If you look out in the water here, you'll see some green spots. I'll try to zoom in on that right now. And those green areas represent really shallow water, and there's a lot of it right in front of me over here. And so when the low tide comes at this beach, I kind of like that scene right there actually. The water gets really shallow here, and I guess you can walk out quite a ways, and that reminds me of Cape Cod as well. Anybody who's been to the Cape Cod National Seashore up in Massachusetts will know that at low tide you can walk out, I don't know, maybe a mile, and it's only knee deep, and you get these ripples. You get these ripples in the sand that like rivulets, where the water flowed back across the sand, and you just dig your feet into those and you run. As a kid we used to run on those tidal flats, go collect shells and play games. I remember my mom saying, "You kids stay within eyesight." My God, you could walk a mile straight out into the water, right out into the ocean. It's just beautiful here. And it looks like there's maybe 2 or 3 more people on this entire beach. One of them might be a maintenance worker. And I'm seeing a sign, "Keep area clean," right in front of me, which is nice to see. it's very rare, even in places like Alona Beach on Bohol and Panglao and Mualboal. You'll go there and you'll see just trash everywhere. And I see a few little bits, little scraps here and there, but I gotta believe they get picked up on a regular basis, because otherwise they would accumulate, or they blow away in the wind, one or the other. Well, I'm glad you guys could join me hanging out here on this beach all by ourselves. Really an amazing place. It's what I came to the Philippines to see and do. And I don't see and I don't do enough of it. I got to get out of the city more. And I think what I'll be doing in my videos in the future is waking up in the morning early like I did today, get on the bike and get out to some of these more distant locations that very few tourists and very few expats even know about, and show them to you. The water on this side of the island, this is the west side of Cebu Island, looks a lot cleaner. There are really no beaches within about 30 kilometers of Cebu on the east coast, within 30 kilometers of the city itself. People go out to Mactan Island across one of two bridges, and they're building a third. And they go to the beaches out there, and there are a few beaches once you get down to the bottom of that island in an area called Cordova. And I'll go out there and show you what I saw on Google Maps. That's going to be my resource for finding these little hidden gems. Just scan along the coast until you see something interesting and zoom in, and then see if there's a way to get to it. And this beach is just about as secluded as you're going to get on a big populated island like Cebu. But I'll look for even more reclusive spots here on Cebu, and take the bike across on ferries to Leyte and Bohol and Negros Island. And north of here, about 23 kilometers, is Toledo, and that's one of the crossing places where you can get a ferry over to Negros Island. And that island, you can see it goes all the way to the right side of the display here. You're seeing Negros just continuing on up, and it goes pretty far up. Well, what do you think of my first hidden destination? Many more to come, but leave a comment. I'd really appreciate a like, and if you subscribe, you'll get notifications of future videos. And there will be a lot of them, because there's a lot of places I've already identified all along this coast of this island and on other islands nearby.